Let's get one thing straight. Most men fail with women not because they're ugly, broke, or unlucky, but because they approach like amateurs. They walk up with fear in their eyes, desperation in their voice, and a please like me energy that kills attraction before it even has a chance to spark. You know it, I know it, and women definitely know it. Now here's the controversial truth. Attraction isn't always about looks or money. It's about the way you carry yourself in those first few moments. The sad part? Most guys think a woman's first, "I'm not interested," means the game is over. But in reality, that's often just a polite defense mechanism, a test to see if you're worth her time. If you understand how to approach her the right way, confident, grounded, and unshakable, you can flip the script. You can go from just another guy bothering her to who is this man in seconds. And no, I'm not talking about being pushy or creepy. I'm talking about using subtle psychological triggers that make her curiosity work for you. This is where most men get it wrong. They either back down immediately or they push too hard. The secret lies in neither. The secret is to communicate that you're not there to chase, but to connect. You're not entering her world begging for a spot, you're inviting her into yours. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to approach any woman, even one who seems totally uninterested, and do it in a way that sparks genuine intrigue. And once you learn this, you'll never see "I'm not interested" the same way again. 1. Her no might mean try again. Here's what most men don't realize. When a woman says "I'm not interested," it doesn't always mean she's not attracted. Sometimes it means she's not convinced yet. This is where 90% of guys fail. They hear no, take it personally, and retreat like a defeated soldier. But attraction isn't always instant. It's often a process. Many women give an early no for 2 reasons. They're testing your confidence. Women don't want a man who collapses at the first sign of resistance. If you can't handle a little pushback, how will you handle real-life challenges? They're protecting themselves. She doesn't know you yet. That no is a shield, not a verdict. Now, here's the controversial truth. When handled correctly, a no can actually work in your favor. It forces you to slow down, stay calm, and reapproach in a way that shows strength rather than neediness. Most men react emotionally, arguing, sulking, or walking away too fast. The man who stands out is the one who stays relaxed, unfazed, and still in control of his energy. 1. Example. You approach a woman in a cafe. You make small talk, but she says, "Sorry, I'm not interested." Instead of awkwardly apologizing or pushing harder, you smile, nod, and casually say, "Fair enough, I'm just here for the coffee anyway." Then you continue to enjoy your drink while occasionally chatting with the barista or reading something interesting. A few minutes later, she glances over. She sees you're not chasing, you're not bitter, you're simply being. That confidence often sparks curiosity. By the time you leave, she may even initiate conversation herself. The key is this. Never take an early no as a final rejection. Take it as a challenge to show who you are without begging for approval. The man who understands this rule isn't just attractive, he's unforgettable. If you want, I can roll straight into section 2. Stop asking for permission to be a man in the same style. 2. Stop asking for permission to be a man. One of the biggest mistakes men make when approaching women is seeking approval before they even start. They tiptoe into a conversation like they're asking for a hall pass, waiting for her to grant them permission to be confident. That's the fastest way to kill attraction, because leadership and hesitation cannot live in the same space. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Women don't give you permission to be a man. You either show up as one or you don't. If you're standing there mentally asking, "Is it okay if I talk to you? Is it okay if I be confident?" you've already lost. Confidence isn't something you request. It's something you bring with you. Women are drawn to men who assume their presence is valuable, not men who wait for a green light before speaking. When you lead with authority, not arrogance, you show her you're in control of yourself and the moment, and that's magnetic. 1. Example. You see a woman at a bookstore flipping through a novel. Most guys would walk up and nervously say, "Excuse me, can I talk to you for a second?" That's a permission request, and it screams uncertainty. Instead, you walk over with a relaxed smile and say, That book will change your life or completely ruin your weekend. Which one are you hoping for? You've started the interaction without asking if you're allowed to be there. You've taken the lead without being pushy. The difference? She's now reacting to your energy instead of controlling it. Approaching like a man isn't about being aggressive. It's about owning your space. It's about starting the conversation like you already belong there because deep down, you believe you do. Stop looking for signs that it's safe to make a move. The safety comes from your own frame, not her approval. The moment you stop asking for permission, you stop being forgettable. I can move on to section 3. Polite guys get forgotten, next in the same style. 3. Polite guys get forgotten. Let's be brutally honest. Politeness is not the same as attraction. In fact, when it comes to sparking desire, excessive politeness can be your greatest enemy. Society has trained men to believe that if they're nice enough, respectful enough, and agreeable enough, women will naturally be drawn to them. But the reality? Polite guys are often invisible. Why? Because politeness alone doesn't create emotional impact. Women don't remember the man who tiptoes through conversations, carefully avoiding any risk of offending her. They remember the man who makes them feel something. And feelings aren't triggered by safe, bland interactions. Being polite to the point of passivity sends one loud message: I'm afraid to be myself. It shows you're more concerned with avoiding rejection than with expressing who you truly are. That's not confidence, it's self-protection disguised as good manners. Yes, respect is non-negotiable, but there's a difference between respect and being overly agreeable. One is about valuing another person. The other is about bending yourself into a shape you think they'll approve of. And women can feel that difference instantly. Here's the truth most men don't want to admit. If the only thing you bring to an interaction is politeness, you're not standing out. You're blending in with every other guy who smiled, nodded, and then disappeared from her memory 5 minutes later. Think about it. The most unforgettable people in your life didn't play it safe 100% of the time. They teased you, challenged you, made you laugh, or even made you think differently about something. They weren't rude, but they weren't afraid to leave a mark. When you strip away all risk in your approach, you strip away all excitement too. Attraction needs a spark, and sparks don't come from conversations built to offend absolutely no one. So remember this: be respectful, but don't be dull. Because the polite guy isn't the one she thinks about later. The man who made her feel something is. And if you're not willing to be that man, you'll stay in the nice but forgettable category forever. If you're ready, I can now give you section 4. Interest is built, not given, in the same punchy style. 4. Interest is built, not given. Men need to wake up to a harsh reality. Most women are not going to be instantly interested in you just because you showed up. You are not entitled to her attention, her time, or her attraction simply because you approached her. That instant chemistry fantasy, that's just a movie scene, not real life. Too many guys act like interest is something that magically happens if they happen to be in the right place at the right time. They approach a woman, expect her to light up immediately, and when she doesn't, they sulk or complain that women just want bad boys or women only like rich guys. No, most of the time they simply didn't create any reason for her to want them. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Attraction is often the result of a man's energy, presence, and behavior in those first few minutes, not just his looks or status. If you expect her to be hooked before you've even spoken, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Men forget that women meet men constantly, at work, in public, online. You're not special just because you approached her. You become special when you show a side of yourself that stands out. Your confidence, your humor, your authenticity. That's what makes her pay attention. Stop acting like a woman's interest is a gift she hands out randomly. It's something you earn by showing who you are and making her feel something different from what she feels with every other guy. Here's the wake-up call. If you leave every approach thinking, she just wasn't into me, without asking yourself why, you're missing the point. Most men lose not because they were rejected, but because they never built any intrigue in the first place. Interest is a fire. You don't walk up expecting it to be burning. You bring the spark, you feed it, you build it. And if you're not willing to do that, don't be surprised when nothing happens. Do you want me to go straight into section 5, confidence beats good looks, next? 5. Confidence beats good looks. It's time for men to stop hiding behind the excuse, "She only likes good-looking guys." No, she likes guys who make her feel something, and confidence does that far more reliably than a pretty face ever will. Good looks might get her attention for a second, but confidence keeps it. Why? Because looks are surface level. They don't tell her anything about who you are. A man can be handsome yet insecure, hesitant, and socially awkward, and within minutes, his looks lose all power. Meanwhile, a man who carries himself with self-assurance, even if he's not traditionally attractive, will instantly feel magnetic. Here's the reality. Confidence signals value. It says you believe in yourself, you trust yourself, and you don't crumble under pressure. That is extremely attractive to women because deep down, they want a man who can lead, protect, and inspire, not just one who looks good in photos. And confidence is not loud arrogance. It's not about bragging, showing off, or dominating every conversation. True confidence is calm, grounded, and unshakable. It's in your eye contact, your body language, the way you take up space without apologizing for it. The problem is, most men think they need to earn confidence through external things, money, status, achievements, before they can be attractive. But the most magnetic men understand that confidence is a choice, a state of being you can embody right now. You can dress well, hit the gym, and look sharp. But if you stand in front of a woman radiating nervous energy, she'll feel it instantly. And once she senses uncertainty, it doesn't matter how perfect your jawline is, her interest will fade. So here's the truth. Invest in your confidence first, your looks second. Because the man who is slightly above average in appearance but radiates absolute certainty will win against the handsome man who doubts himself every single time. Shall I continue with section 6? Silence can be more powerful than words. 6. Silence can be more powerful than words. Most men fear silence when talking to a woman. The moment there's even a 2-second pause, they panic and start filling the space with nervous chatter, rambling, over-explaining, or throwing out random questions just to avoid awkwardness. But here's the truth. Silence, when used correctly, is one of the most attractive tools you can have. Why? Because silence communicates confidence. It shows you're comfortable in your own skin, you don't need constant validation, and you're not afraid of letting her process what you've said. The man who can sit in silence without fidgeting is the man who radiates control. Think about it. Most guys talk too much because they're secretly afraid she'll lose interest if they stop. But women don't lose interest because of a pause. They lose interest because you're flooding the moment with low-value filler conversation. Silence creates mystery. It allows tension to build. It makes her wonder what's going through your mind. There's also another truth. People naturally value what they have to work for. If you give her every thought, every feeling, every detail of your life in the first 5 minutes, you've given away all the intrigue. But when you leave space, she has room to chase. Silence also lets your body language do the talking. A confident look, a knowing smile, or simply leaning back and holding eye contact says more than words ever could. That's the difference between a man who performs for a woman and a man who makes her lean in to discover more. Most men need to stop fearing silence and start owning it. If you can stand in front of a beautiful woman, say something meaningful, and then simply pause without shrinking or rushing, you send a powerful signal. I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to see if you impress me. Silence is not emptiness, it's strength. And the man who masters it will always stand out from the one who hides behind constant talk. Do you want me to go ahead with section 7? If she's testing you, you're winning. 7. If she's testing you, you're winning. Most men see a woman's tests as rejection or disrespect. She teases you, challenges you, or throws out a sarcastic comment, and you immediately think she's not interested. But here's the reality. If she's testing you, it usually means you've already made it past the first filter. You're not invisible. You're on her radar. Women test men for one reason, to see if the confidence you're showing is real or just an act. Anyone can pretend to be confident for the first 30 seconds. But when she throws a curveball, like questioning your joke, challenging your opinion, or giving you a playful, "I'm not impressed" look, she's checking to see if you crumble or stay composed. The mistake most men make is taking these moments personally. They get defensive, overly serious, or start trying too hard to win her over. That only proves her point, that your confidence is fragile. Here's the wake-up call. A woman who never tests you is usually a woman who's not interested at all. If she doesn't care, she won't bother putting you through any challenge. The test itself is a sign she sees potential, but she needs to know if you can handle pressure. The right response isn't to fight her test or overthink it. It's to stay grounded, relaxed, and maybe even throw the playfulness back her way. A confident man treats a test like a game, not an attack. And when you pass, her respect and attraction grow instantly. So the next time she challenges you, don't see it as a problem. See it as confirmation you're in the game. Men who understand this stop fearing tests and start enjoying them, because they know that once you pass, you're no longer just another face in the crowd. You've just proven you're the man she was hoping you'd be. Do you want me to now write the very controversial conclusion that ties all 7 points together and leaves viewers buzzing? Conclusion. Let's end this with a truth that will make some people furious. Most women don't actually know what they want in the moment they meet you. Their type is flexible. Their initial interest can change. And yes, a man they weren't attracted to at first can become the man they can't stop thinking about if he knows how to carry himself. That's why the idea of love at first sight or instant chemistry is a trap for men. You don't need to fit into her checklist. You need to spark an emotional shift. Women respond to how you make them feel more than to how you look on paper. And here's the part that will have some people ready to argue. Attraction is not a choice, but it can be created. The moment you understand this, you stop chasing women's approval and start controlling the energy you bring into every interaction. Most men will keep blaming their height, their income, or their genetics for their dating struggles. But the men who wake up to the truth I just shared will realize you can literally become the man she wants, even if she didn't think she wanted you at first. So, I want to hear from you. Have you ever had a woman go from not interested to showing clear signs she's into you? Or maybe you've been tested in ways you didn't understand at the time. Drop your experiences in the comments. I'm going to be reading and replying because I want this to be more than just a video. I want this to be a real conversation between us. Because if there's one thing I know for sure, it's that once you master these principles, you stop worrying about finding the right woman and start making the right woman find you. If you'd like, I can also prepare a powerful hook for the very start of the video that sets the tone instantly.